Hey guys, it's Wills, and today I thought it would be interesting to talk about one of the world's teams right now. And the team I've chosen to talk about is Fnatic because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff surrounding this team right now. So first, let's look at the games. They're currently 0-3, they've been losing every single game. And let's swap over to look at the games. First, they played a bit against Gigabyte Marines. They have a kind of new team, Fnatic, like they have some rookies, and Gigabyte Marines decided to lane swap against them, which is something that caught them completely off guard. They're not used to lane swaps anymore. It doesn't really happen because generally it's a bad strategy. But it still managed to work because it caught them off guard and they had no idea how to handle it, which made Gam have a massive advantage. Then the second loss, we will be looking at Immortals. So against Immortals, if you look at the quick team comps, they had Fnatic Soaz on Cho'Gath versus a Jayce, which is a matchup that's very bad. You will probably need help in this matchup. It's a very difficult matchup to play. Then they had a Twitch bottom and a Lulu, which also requires some help because you want bot lane to be ahead in this kind of matchup. And then you have Lee Sin, which is a good ganking jungler. Fnatic decided to only focus around bottom and just completely ignore top, which I think was kind of weird, right? Because if you're going to ignore top, why not pick a top laner that's actually strong and that can fight against somebody? So potentially banning out Jayce or even picking something strong yourself that can handle Jayce much easier than a Cho'Gath. Because if you have a losing match up top and you get zero help, it's going to be a bad show. But regardless, Fnatic managed to actually get out even though Soaz is getting destroyed because of the matchup. There's not much he can do. They still got out fine because they got a lot of kills in the bot lane. Broxah did a lot of good ganks there. They ended up being somewhat even, but they had two Fire Dragons with a matchup with Twitch. I think it's great. Once you get to the late game, they should have a massive advantage. But in the end, sadly, Rekkles managed to throw the game by trying to catch the opponents off guard. He gets baited in by Pobelter, and everything goes to shit. And last but not least, we have the Longshu game. This matchup, again, Longshu reads Fnatic perfectly. Fnatic loves to play around bot lane. They love to play around Rekkles. And they're kind of leaving Soaz to dry. So Longshu does the standard thing of they bait Soaz to pick a tank, they pick Narcissus into him, and now you have to shut down Narcissus. But what does Fnatic do instead? They completely forget about this standard thing. If you're against the Narcissus, you want to shut him down, stop him from farming, stop him from stacking up Qs, and they completely ignore top throughout the whole game. I know they did an early gank top. In the level 1, they tried to see if they could catch Khan out, but after the level 1, they never came top again. And Khan was just left to farm and do whatever he wanted to. There's not much that Fnatic can do at this point because once Narcissus is fed, super strong, everybody else is doing fine. Bot lane even won and got the first tower. There's just nothing to do because they're going to keep scaling, they're going to keep playing safe, and Fnatic will eventually lose this game. Alright, so we talked about Fnatic doing bad, the games they lost. Now let's look at the personalities within the team. They have Soaz in the top lane, who is a person that always seems to be somewhat negative to the public. He seems to have a lot of problem. Easily shift the blame towards other people publicly, which I think is a very bad quality. Because it makes it harder for your team to be together as a team and feel like it's one team instead of as 5 individuals together. And he's one of the veterans on the team, so it makes it even harder for the rookies to feel that way, right? Broxah is a person that I've known for a long time. I like Broxah a lot. I like all the players on Fnatic. But let's just be objective here. Broxah is a person who tends to be very nervous. He's a very nervous guy. And he easily gets tilted, in my opinion. So what you want to do for Broxah as a teammate is you want to keep him high-spirited. You want to keep him up and happy. If you do that, he's going to perform well most of the time. He's a really good player after all. The only small little thing I have about him is his smites are not the best. But apart from that, he normally plays really well. Then you have Caps. He's the trolley person. He likes to jog around, have fun, and he doesn't take things too serious from what I've seen. I'm not sure how he is after he joined LCS, but I played on a team with him before. And he's just a very chill, funny guy that likes to troll a lot. And he can be a bit too much sometimes, especially paired with Jesiz because they kind of have the same personality. So those two could play off each other, which could be bad for Fnatic if it's too trolly, but if they manage to handle it, it's not really a problem, right? So that depends on how the coaching staff and everyone in Fnatic of all handles that. Then we have Rekkles. He's a 80 carry veteran. He's been playing for a very long time now, and he got a lot of good qualities. But one bad quality is that you have to set him up in a perfect environment. Like, he's a very fragile mindset, as he's also said online himself. So you have to set him up to win. You have to set him in a good situation. And I'm not sure if he's the person who can lead a team and be the actual leader. Because, like, it depends how he changed since I knew him, since I played with him and everything. But from what I know, he's not really the leadership person. In the last, we have Jesiz, similar to Caps, except that he's more of a veteran, but same kind of personality. And from looking at the personalities from an outside perspective, I feel like Fnatic lacks the leadership role. They lack the natural leader. From my times back in GLGU, we had Snoopy, who was a natural leader to some extent. Like, I made the team and everything, but Snoopy was a natural leader. And he was the guy who kind of kept us happy, then shits were going bad, and things weren't looking great. He was the guy who was there to make sure that everyone was good, you know? Everyone was happy, everybody was focused on the next task at hand. And he was the guy who was making sure we were a team. Like, even though I made the team, I know back then I was kind of a kid. I did stupid shit, you know? And got into arguments, people were mad at each other. But he was the guy who kept it calm and made sure that we were one team and we were one unit. And I think that's something Fnatic lacks from looking at it. And you might say, oh, they're playing really well, they're having a good run and everything, but it's easy to do all of that when things are going well. It's easy to be a team when things are going well. But the second things go bad, that's when it's really important to have a leader. That's when it's important to have somebody who steps up and keeps the team together. Because it can go bad overnight and then people's mindset change. And from that mindset change, that's where everything goes wrong. And I feel like that is one thing we really need to see someone from Fnatic to step up and take that role. Now let's look at the tweets from Fnatic. If you had a natural born leader or a leader who took over and was like, guys, we need to be one team, we can't do these kind of things, then these tweets wouldn't be coming out from Fnatic. Let's look at the first one. So the first one's from Soaz that we're going to look at is, I basically could play to farm for 20 minutes without worrying about my team, but this is just so sad. This is obviously a game where he's straight up saying, oh, my team is worse than the enemy team, that's why we lost, right? That is how I'm reading it. And this tweet does not help them at the task in hand. They're not helping them win worlds. It's not helping them improve. It only creates more problems within the team, in my opinion. And only makes it harder for everybody else. If I was a teammate and saw this, I'd be like, wow. I wouldn't say anything, but I was like, wow, really? Then let's look at the next one. There are a lot of unresolved issues going on behind the scenes, and that game was the result of those. So I blame the game about all the issues they're having instead of just focusing on them. They don't have to blame each other, because blaming each other to the public just makes more issues. I don't think this tweet is good either. It doesn't help the team improve. It doesn't really do anything for the team, right? And they might as well just have said, GG, we lost, we'll improve. And that would have been much better, right? Then let's look at something Soaz said before Worlds. Fnatic saw some performing at Worlds. Obviously, we would really like to perform well at Worlds. But at the same time, I acknowledge that we have 2 rookies, and even if we perform at the LCS and on tournaments and everything like this, Worlds is completely different. Again, this is not something that makes the rookies happy and feel appreciated. This is something that's like, oh, if we lose, we're probably getting blamed. Like, why not just not say anything and be like, we'll do our best. I believe in our team. We've been practicing well. We've been doing well in EU. We have a good shot. We're going to try our best. And stay together as a team and be positive and hype each other up, right? Like, I remember back in the day in Season 2 Worlds, we were playing as World Lead. It was a long match. There's so many problems. They were winning one game. They were slightly ahead. And the game disconnected. So we had to rematch. And we were like, oh, that's great. We were behind, right? Feels good, you know? Then the next time, we legit had the game won. It was over. We had killed 2 people. We were about to kill the rest and finish off the game. And there's another disconnect. And we're like, wow, did that really happen? Karma's a bitch, man. But you know what? We stayed happy. We stayed as a team. And people started singing. I don't remember who started singing, but we started singing on stage, I Have the Tiger. And everybody became happy again. Everyone's feeling great. And I think that's what got us through that tournament. Like, that's the reason we had decent results at World Season 2. Because we stayed together as one team. And it's really important to do that in times of hardship. And I think that's what we're seeing from Fnatic. They're lacking right now. And it's not that Fnatic is a bad team. It's not that they don't have skilled players. They have really good players. They have a really good team. They just lack some very fundamental components right now. And now, let's look at an actual good tweet from one of the Fnatic members. We talked about Jesiz and so we're going to keep it that way. Jesiz wrote on the 28th of September, oh man, we did it. So thankful my team carried me. That says super proud of the rookies as well. And some smileys, right? This is something good. If I was a teammate, if I was one of the rookies and saw this, I'd be like, oh my god, this feels really good. I'm so happy right now, you know? This is what keeps me happy together, makes me focus on the game, makes me want to do exactly as well as they just did. And I think this is the kind of thing you should be trying to do in a team. It doesn't matter if you just simply silence the bad parts and just talk about all the good parts. That's what you should be doing. You should be trying to encourage the teammates to do well and making them feel good. So basically, moving forward, what I think Fnatic should be doing is they should probably have a social media break right now. Just take a social media break, don't use it at all. Focus on being a team and one unit, and try to come together as a team and see if they can do well in the next week. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Hey, thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, remember they have new videos coming to every single day. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment. See you tomorrow, guys.